This was a good animated movie. Better than Son of Batman. This one was really amazing because in this one, Damian doesn't miraculously defeat everyone. The ending was a shock to me. Even with Son of Batman, the ending really was a shock. I expected Deathstroke to live out much longer than expected. So this is a good film. This basically is about the Court of Owls, which I will call the Templars in Assassin's Creed. They basically want New World Order, not for the world, but for Gotham City. They want to make it better for the rich again. And they tried to recruit Bruce Wayne, but he was, he wanted to think about it. They didn't know who Batman was. They just wanted to crush the Batman because his views, his laws on the criminal organizations is foul. Because anything he does, he puts them in jail, they come right back out. We've seen it tons of times and times again. And they've had enough, basically. They were once in Gotham before, a rich society, and they were pushed away, but they did not give up. And they're back in Gotham. So, Damian, he's easily manipulated all the time. He trusts Bruce, but in all, he hates the fact that even though Bruce is Batman, even though they fight side by side sometimes, he still feels that Batman or Bruce is basically a shadow hovering over him all the time, watching his every move. And that's exactly what he did. Bruce basically concealed him inside the house all the time. High advanced security systems, a wall which in fact has one of the best spikes coming out of it I've ever seen, electrified shields. It's just basically, he wants you here, he wants you to stay here, he doesn't want you going out, and Damian had enough of that. And Talon, who plays the Owl, he basically manipulated Damian into becoming his little sidekick. But truthfully, he wanted him to be a sacrifice for the Court of Owls. Now, we got to see Nightwing in this. He was a great part of the film. Not like in the last movie where we only saw him for half an hour. Well, not half an hour, I'll say like 10 minutes and that's it. But in this one, he got a lot of playtime and I loved it. Batman did get his ass kicked by a few owls. And I was like, ow. I was, rooting for him to escape in the museum. But he didn't because these owls were tough, even for Batman. And the flashbacks of him and his parents, how he taught that the Court of Owls were the reason that his parents died. They always tend to change the story. They always want to give you a different insight into how the parents of Bruce Wayne died. This person, the Falcones are the reason, now the Owls are the reason, or some blameless robber was the reason. There's always a change in the story. Even with the Gotham series, they always want to change it all the time. We shouldn't see Joker, even though this little guy in Gotham series is laughing like the Joker now. He shouldn't be there so early. The Joker should be the Red Hood. He shouldn't be the Joker immediately. But in all, this crazy mentality that this person has, it's a bit odd. But back again to the main movie, Batman vs. Robin 2015. It is good. Damian is basically trying to uphold the no-killing rule. Justice, not vengeance. Because in the last movie, he was just all about vengeance. With Raish being dead and everything, which I doubt Raish is dead. He's alive, I know for that fact. Raish cannot die. He needs a successor. So, this Grandmaster of the Owls is basically the woman that Bruce was dating. I forgot her name, nor do I care. I think it's Samantha. Her name is Samantha. I just remembered. She basically is the Grandmaster. And in all, she is the leader of the Owls, of the Court of Owls. Her family was the leader of the Court of Owls for generations. And she wants to keep it that way. But in all, it was her downfall. Because near the end, Talon basically said, you know what? I can't sacrifice Damian. He reminds me of myself. And Talon was basically a thief. And he was a good one, but his father was a douchebag. And every time he messed up, his father would basically abuse him for it. And he had enough. He called the police on his father. His father ended up dead, and he thought he could do the same with Damian. Manipulate him into being, the next Talon. basically Owl. But you know, it didn't work. You know, he wiped out the entire Owl clan. Well, some of it. I don't think he. No, he didn't. Because at the end, Bruce said that the Owls will keep looking for us. We'll escape together. No, he said it to Damian. It was strange because if he said that, that means that everyone in the Owl Society knows who Batman is. Because in the end, they were packing up. They were packing the books and everything. So does that mean that Batman's identity has been released? Because there was no secret ending. It's just making my brain die because I don't think they would really tell the entire city that, hey, Bruce Wayne is Batman. However, the police in Gotham are on Batman's side, half of them either way. But overall, the shady ending, as in the Owl allowing Damian to kill him, well, he basically had Damian's hand and he forced him to stab him through the throat, killing himself. So Damian thought, oh god, I killed this guy, and he doesn't know what to do. He still thinks that he's a puppet under Bruce. And Bruce said, okay, you're still my son, go to the monastery that I trained in. And that's the same monastery that Bruce went to before he met Ra's al Ghul, you know, to be trained as, you know, in martial arts and everything to find his way. So I don't know, either that there will be another movie, I think there will be, where Bruce Wayne is much older and Damian returns and all that, because in all I'd love to see that, but I'll still think that Bruce will be Batman, because in the end they said, oh, Alfred said in the end, will you still be around? And he said yes. So I'm thinking that Damian will return when Bruce is way older. Even Dick, I think Dick will be Batman. Either Bruce retires, Dick becomes Batman, and Damian becomes Nightwing and comes together, you know, to be back with the family. But although it was a great, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I can't give it any higher than that because some stuff really has me nagging on what the hell the ending was going to be. Was it going to be much better? I expected a bit more meaning. Are some of the Court of Owls still alive? Or are they going to release the Batman's identity? Is Damian really heading to the monastery to train? Is he going to find out that maybe some of the assassins for Ra's al Ghul is there and he's going to go train with them again? It just leaves a lot of gap holes in the ending of what's going to happen. But in all, it was a very good movie. I recommend it 8 out of 10. Batman vs. Robin 2015. This isn't even supposed to be out yet. Even in the UK. It's supposed to come out on the 14th, and I'm watching it on the 5th. I love it. Anyways, guys, that's my review. Like, subscribe, it's all up to you. And I'll see you guys next time.